From spoiling one of the most important scenes from The Flash to straight up trying to hide his family's racist past, here are all the reasons why The Flash fans hate Ben Affleck. For starters, fans are blaming Affleck for spoiling one of the movie's most important scenes. Yep, that's right. Now, it's gotta be said. The dude barely has any screen time in the movie, but he somehow still managed to outright spoil Wonder Woman's involvement in the film, which a lot of fans were hoping would remain a surprise. While talking to the Smartless podcast, the actor basically revealed that there's a scene in the film where he ends up getting caught, and he has to be saved by Wonder Woman during an encounter with a bunch of bad guys. At first, Batman's having a bit of a tough time, but Wonder Woman uses her trusty lasso of truth and gets him out of trouble. This causes Batman to kind of have a heart-to-heart with her, and he opens up when it comes to his feelings about his life and work. Now, it'd be super cool to see this scene for the first time in the cinema had Ben not spoiled it for all the fans. Oops. Now, it's not that big of a reason to hate him, but fans were eager to see if Gal would be brought again for this film, especially considering she had a cameo earlier in 2023 in Shazam! Fury of the Gods as well. But hey, I guess now it's no longer a mystery. But that's not the only reason the Flash fans are angry at Ben. The other big reason is that he's barely in the movie. Now, I don't know if you can blame the star for this one, but one thing that ticked fans off the wrong way is a statement that Ben made about his character. He mentioned that in The Flash, he's finally figured out how to play Batman, and he thinks he's nailed it. Which is kind of hilarious when you think about it, because he's in it for 5 whole minutes. What could he have possibly managed to nail in that time? Though the actor seems persistent, Affleck mentioned that even for the 5 minutes he's there, it feels like he's done a great job as far as the tone is concerned. Normally, fans would be happy for him. But here's the thing. Affleck has had literal movies to figure this stuff out, and it's now, in the 5 minutes he's spared in The Flash, that he's figured out a character he's been playing for a literal decade? It just comes across as sort of weird, if you ask me. A lot of DC's mess-ups can be blamed on the executives not knowing what to do with the franchise. But there's some fault that falls onto the actors too, especially Ben, since, unlike Henry, fans were pretty split when it came to his portrayal of Batman. It's possible that if he'd understood his character a bit earlier, the DCEU that fans have been watching for the past decade might have actually stuck around instead of being wiped away for how terrible it was. But that's not the only reason fans don't like the guy, because he's also been problematic to work with. A lot of the steam and momentum that the DCEU could have had was kind of squandered because Affleck had some serious harassment allegations against him. And these directly ended up affecting the promotional trial of the Justice League film. The Me Too movement was very active back when that film was coming out, and of course, as one of the stars who was out promoting it, Ben had to deal with several awkward questions regarding his problematic history. Like when he appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert back in 2017, Ben was asked about the allegations made against him by Hillary Burton. Affleck became uncomfortable almost instantly and replied by saying that he was accused of touching her breast while trying to hug her. He added that he didn't remember the incident, but immediately apologized for it, and that he didn't think she was lying or making any of it up, though the issue is he's been accused by some fans of trivializing the issue of sexual harassment before too. So it wouldn't be the first time he's come under fire for inappropriate comments and behavior that he's shown. But of course, Ben managed to derail the DCEU in a number of other ways too, especially because the star struggled to stay sober for a long time. Now, it's gotta be said, dealing with any kind of addiction isn't easy, though Affleck likely had the resources to get better, and it seemed that he constantly fell back to his addictive tendencies, which caused issues for the rest of his coworkers and the franchise as a whole. After all, how's he gonna be available for filming if he's always hungover? After completing rehab in 2018, the star took to Instagram to celebrate his commitment to battling his lifelong addiction to alcohol. And while a lot of fans gave him support and love at the time, A lot of this changed when just 2 days later the paparazzi captured him in a video where he was drinking yet again. And that's not all. He looked pretty intoxicated. TMZ later posted a video where Ben could be seen having a hard time even standing still at a Halloween bash in Los Angeles. It was clear that he'd already gone back on the progress he celebrated less than 2 days ago, and to some of the fans, it felt like he just wasn't considering his own well-being, but also that of the entire DCEU franchise. After all, this isn't a great look for someone that plays a role as pivotal as Batman's. The morning after this happened, TMZ found him outside of Jennifer Garner's house, where he mentioned that he did have a slip-up, but he wasn't going to let this derail him. Though that's far from the only controversy that has made the star so unlikable to fans. There's also the fact that she was involved in another groping scandal. After Hillary Burton shared her experience with the star, Anna Marie Tendler, a makeup artist, also took to Twitter and made similar claims. She mentioned that she'd like to get an apology from Ben, who apparently grabbed her from the back at the Golden Globes party in 2014. The star was walking by her and cupped her butt, even taking his finger to places he shouldn't have without consent. It's almost too gross to even talk about, and then Tendler claimed that he tried to play it off like he did it accidentally, while trying to politely move by her. Even though it's obvious you don't end up doing all that by accident, Tendler mentioned that she was shocked. And like most women in her situation, she didn't really say anything. But she'd thought about the incident a lot, and it seems a couple of other women had similar experiences at the party. So it's clear that it wasn't just a misunderstanding. The star seemingly has a bad habit of making women around him uncomfortable, and then playing it off as a mistake when he gets caught. No wonder fans can't stand him. And don't worry, he's given fans yet another reason to hate him, because back in 2014, news broke out that Ben Affleck had been caught cheating in a casino. Turns out he was banned from playing blackjack at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. The reason? Ben was counting cards, an advanced technique frowned upon by casinos. But what's interesting is that Affleck didn't shy away from acknowledging his involvement in this. In fact, he seemed quite proud of his newfound blackjack skills. In an interview with Details magazine that same year, Affleck openly admitted that it was true, and that he took some time to learn the game and became decent at it. I guess, in his view, breaking the rules of a casino makes you a good player, but I'm sure there are people out there who disagree. Contrary to rumors suggesting a gambling problem, Affleck clarified that blackjack was the extent of his gambling activities. He stated that he doesn't bet on football games and he doesn't gamble at all outside of that. And there's another controversy surrounding the star that makes him less than likable. Apparently, he tried to hide his family's racist past. It turns out his participation in the PBS series Finding Your Roots went really wrong for him. When it was revealed that Affleck's ancestors were slave owners, it's safe to say he regretted his decision to be a part of the show. In leaked emails from the Sony hacking scandal, it became evident that the actor sought to cover up this troubling aspect of his family history. Affleck later addressed the issue on Facebook, expressing his embarrassment and discomfort, with the idea of his family's connection to slavery being showcased on television. But to fans, it seemed like he was trying to hide something which was a fact. So from straight up trying to hide his family's racist past, to spoiling one of the most important scenes from The Flash, those were all the reasons why The Flash fans hate Ben Affleck.